All righty, time now 7:06 on this Tuesday morning. Thank you guys for waking up early with us. I know some of us may be having to head back to work, maybe had the holiday weekend, but finally the snow drought is over. This is our first significant snow of the season. First significant snow since pretty much exactly 2 years ago. The last time at the Roanoke Valley in Lynchburg had an inch of snow was January 16th of 2022, and we got it all yesterday. So we're going to move things forward here. Talk about just some of the cleanup that's got to go on today and some of the Arctic air that arrives late today into tomorrow. But we're going to start off by showing off the pictures you guys have sent in. As people are kind of tuning in here this morning, we'll go through that. So appreciate you guys doing so. Mark Skelton, it was snowing squirrel deep in Roanoke. Great shot there. Great photography. I got to tell you, there have been some really awesome pictures, including this one from Laura Lee in Blue Ridge. I am a sucker for a red barn in snow. That is always my favorite picture. Even when I worked in Tennessee, I used to tell people, like, if you've got a shot of that, I will show it. It's something so pretty to me. Min, enjoying the snow, getting the zoomies there. Cute dog. Thanks to Margie Christensen for that picture. One of the landmarks here from Chuck Skeldon. It's the Humpback Bridge, of course, in Allegheny County. If you've never been, you totally should. It's a great place, really pretty, and especially in the snow. So wanted to show off some of that. Now this morning, that's going to be your best time to do any kind of snow removal. We'll talk about that here in the next graphic. Main roads being treated. I can tell you I was driving 460. I have four-wheel drive, thankfully, but didn't run into any major issues. And I know that when we were talking with VDOT, they said that overnight they've been treating the main roads, that they're starting to work on some secondary streets. Neighborhood roads will be worked on. Just watch out. Your car windshield, your car roof, you got to get the snow off of that. Don't want chunks of ice to go flying and hitting somebody behind you. The sidewalks, the parking lots, the decks, the porches, the driveways, those are going to be very slick this morning. So that's one thing to be careful of. Bridges, of course, cold air flows beneath them and can lead to some more icy spots there, as opposed to maybe some of the main roads. It's been a while, though, since we've had to remove snow. Again, it's been about 2 years to the date. If you know of elderly neighbors or maybe somebody who suffered a recent injury, maybe consider helping them out if you are able-bodied and have the time. Shovel early and often, especially as temperatures drop by a long shot tonight into tomorrow morning. Remember to take frequent breaks, stay hydrated. This is kind of the wetter snow. So while it's great for snowballs, snowmen, things like that, it's great for fun with the kids. It is a little bit more of a bear to go removing. So just a few helpful tips for something that we haven't done in quite some time. Withville, a little bit of fog out there that may be adding some slickness, especially on things like bridges, overpasses. Blacksburg's at 28, just cloudy right now, but Blacksburg receiving about 2 to 3 inches of snow. Let's talk about what's happening right now. You've got some freezing rain and some sleet moving into south side. It's turning a little more scattered. Drier air gradually making its way into this system. But let me go ahead and stop the tape here. And you can see in parts of Halifax, Charlotte, Appomattox counties, maybe areas like Lynchburg and Candler's Mountain, unfortunately getting that icy glaze as insult to injury. Now, as far as the rest of the day is concerned, you see that little bit of a mix moving off toward the north and east. It's out of here by 8 or 9 a.m. And then on the backside of this system, as far as snow is concerned, you may see a few flurries spitting out, but the bulk of snow accumulation is going to be on your western slopes. And there we go toward midday and pretty much dry air claiming victory on this system. So now we've got to push things forward. And the big thing we're going to be tracking is the cold. So just this morning, gosh, I want to say it was 3 o'clock. I think it was 3 o'clock this morning. The National Weather Service had issued a wind chill advisory for all these areas that you see here. So this is the New River Valley, the Roanoke Valley, the Highlands, Amherst, Bedford, Franklin, Patrick counties. This is from 5 p.m. today until noon tomorrow. And at their lowest, wind chills will be below 0. Let's go ahead and time that out a little more. So late today, you see wind chills from, let's start at noon, those in the single digits in some of the mountains, teens elsewhere. Let's play it through. And you go toward about 7, 8 p.m. and you see that those wind chills below 0 already in the NRV and parts of the Highlands, 5 to 15 elsewhere. And then first thing Wednesday morning, wind chills dropping below 0, especially for areas near and to the west of the Roanoke Valley. Pardon me, just one sec. Been talking a lot, so needed a swig of water. Appreciate you guys giving me those few seconds there. But yeah, the cold is going to be the big deal. Now, for some people, I've gotten this over the past 10 years that you'll say that the heat index or the wind chill is just a made-up number. I can tell you it is not. All right, here's why. So when there's no wind, our body naturally radiates heat. So there's kind of this protective layer between our skin and the cold. All right, so it helps to regulate body temperature. However, when you have the wind, that layer is removed. So heat loss is sped up. Your body temperature can drop quickly if you're not dressed for the weather. So just make sure that you guys, if you can, dress for the weather today. Karen, good morning there in Bland, and happy snowy Tuesday to you. Hopefully you're staying warm there in Bland County. So, okay, Wednesday morning, brutally cold. We've established that. Now, heading into Thursday morning, we'll still be in the teens. Thursday afternoon, not quite as cold. Thursday afternoon also looks mostly dry. We'll have another storm system coming in. This one's not going to be quite as strong, but you do see Thursday night into Friday and maybe lingering into Friday afternoon. There is going to be this potential for lighter snow. This does not look like it's going to be quite what we just saw, but you could see an inch or less of snow near and to the west of the Parkway through Friday afternoon. So that's kind of minor compared to what we just went through, but if it does come to fruition, it'll add to some slick spots, especially because after that, it's another blast of Arctic air. So this is kind of twofold. So tomorrow morning, single digits and teens. Thursday morning in the teens. Friday morning, that's more like it. Temperatures drop into the 20s. It's pretty much average for early January, early to mid-January. By Saturday and Sunday mornings, however, we're back in the teens. We're back in the single digits in the teens, and you get the wind chill coming back into the mix. Again, that'll be Saturday morning. So there's Arctic blast number 1. There's Arctic blast number 2. Does it stay that way heading into next week? Let's answer that question. It does look as though the weather pattern is going to start to moderate, if not head in the opposite direction. So NOAA's Climate Prediction Center puts out these outlooks every day. They do a 6 to 10 day outlook. They do an 8 to 14 day outlook. What we're showing here is the 8 to 14 day outlook. And so what that shows on the left-hand side of your screen is increasing odds of above average temperatures. Does that mean we're going to be in the 70s? No. It doesn't mean that, but it means at least increasing odds of above average temperatures. We head in the opposite direction. We're not tracking Arctic blasts moving into our area the final week of January. At the same time, you've got some wetter weather building toward the south. That's very typical of an El Nino pattern, which we've talked about pretty often over the past few weeks. So there will be wetter weather building in from the south. So that's what you see there on the right-hand side of your screen. Time now 7:15. Let's backtrack again. In case you're just joining us this morning, we appreciate you doing so. Again, don't want to sit here and doom and gloom this entire thing. Do want to show off some of the happy pictures that you guys have been sending us. This one is just adorable. In fact, we were all talking about it this morning. We thought it was just very cute from Margie Christensen. This is Min, the puppy dog, getting the zoomies there. And it's also really pretty in parts of the area, too. Don't want to diminish that. Our area is beautiful, and Humpback Bridge is just one of those places, so thanks to Chuck. Morning from Lynchburg. It's icy and snowy here today off of 460, especially because you're getting, you got that second band of a little bit of freezing rain. So, Micah, definitely be careful. Appreciate you chiming in. Again, this morning, something that you may have to think about. You know, for us, we didn't have the choice. We come into work, you know, and I think a lot of you guys can relate to that if you're watching at this point in the morning. Main roads being treated. We spoke with VDOT a couple times this morning. We've had our storm chaser out and about. Main roads are being treated, and for the most part, they're wet, although you may have to watch areas like 460, like Micah said, in Lynchburg. Snow-covered, icy windshields. Give yourself some extra time. You don't want that snow going back and hitting somebody behind you if you're on the roads today. Sidewalks, parking lots, decks, porches, driveways. I think I covered all of those. Those are going to be a little slicker because most of those are untreated. Now, it's been 2 years since we've seen this degree of snow. So if you are able-bodied and you have the time to maybe help out some of your elderly or injured neighbors, that would be a good move to make. Shovel early and often, but also take some breaks. Stay hydrated because this is kind of the heavier, wetter snow, right? Temperatures were 28 to 32, so there's more water content in the snowflakes. So it does carry a little more weight than that powdery snow that you often get when temperatures are 18 to 24 degrees. Pam bringing up a great point. This is one graphic that I showed on the air this morning that I neglected to show in this live stream. So let me go ahead and pull that up. Keep your pets inside. Please, 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 please do that. Be careful with exposed piping. Maybe leave the faucet dripping. Leave cabinets open if you know that you're susceptible to pipes bursting. This is the pipe bursting kind of cold that we're tracking tonight into tomorrow. Check your tire pressure too. Rebecca, as far as the area of Giles, I wish I had a crystal ball to where I could tell everybody exactly what their roads are like. I'm looking at time saver traffic over here. 460 looks like it's moving pretty smoothly. It's the side roads, the neighborhood streets that you got to watch out for. That seems to be the trend everywhere, right? Not just specific to Giles, but anywhere that has seen snow, that has seen ice. That's pretty much the general trend that you've got going on this morning. Is that the main roads, VDOT? I tell you, they've done a heck of a job, really, with those main roads, highways, interstates, and everything. And from our understanding from talking with them this morning, there's more work to be done. We've got a live update at 7:26, so I am going to keep this a little bit shorter. We've been at this now for about 12 to 13 minutes anyways. But you see some patches of freezing rain, unfortunately, south and east of the Lynchburg area. So this is going to add an icy glaze. This is, however, an area that makes it to about 35 to 38 degrees this afternoon. That's at least some good news that whatever little bit of ice falls may melt. The one thing that you may want to keep in mind is that if you're one of the areas watching that has snow, if you can get it removed early, that's your best option, because later today, into tonight, into tomorrow, that's when the really cold air starts to settle in. That's when we could see some refreezing. I would not be shocked to see some school schedule changes tomorrow as well. So for some of you, that could mean a 5-day weekend. Last thing I'm going to show you guys before we sign off, in case you have not checked out the website, the app, or things like that, if you're just waking up this morning, a wind chill advisory was issued by the National Weather Service. They issued it at about 3 o'clock this morning. These are the areas where the wind chill this evening into tomorrow morning could drop below zero. That is what I would call potentially dangerous cold if you're not dressed for it, if you don't have the means to stay warm. So that would be the New River Valley, Roanoke Valley, the Highlands, also parts of Patrick, Bedford, Franklin, and Amherst County. So that is kind of the second leg of this storm system. The first one, the snow. The second one, the cold that's coming in. And that's especially going to be the case late today into tomorrow morning. Wind gusts today about 25 to 35 miles per hour, and that'll start up after about 11 o'clock this morning. So winter definitely making up for lost time here as we go through the middle part of January, but it does look as though things will start to thaw out at some time next week and really through the end of the month. Time now 7:20, updates every half hour throughout the Today Show. Another Appcast coming your way at 11 a.m. And we've got our regularly scheduled newscast at noon. So our team coverage will continue throughout the day. Stay warm, stay safe. Keep sending in those great pictures and videos. We love to see them. We love to share them. And have a great rest of your Tuesday, guys. We'll talk to you soon.